Okay, we are live. Okay, we are live. Hello, people. We are coming on. I am coming on to talk about the client lifecycle map, aka the customer journey. Okay, and so for the next few days, I'm going to be coming on YouTube Live to help you map your customer journey if you haven't done so already. Okay, and so if you don't know me, I'm Ebony. I am an manager and consultant for service-based businesses and nonprofit founders. I help people essentially get clear and get things done. That means I support with decision making, with systems, automations, workflows, and then taking things off of their plate so that they can do the thing that they say they're going to do. Okay? And so, what is a customer journey map? Okay? Before we even get into that, I have a question. If I came into your business today and I began to ask you questions about, you know, your onboarding process or your sales process or your offboarding process, or what is the number one source that people are finding you on, would you be able to answer those questions? Would you be able to give me a step-by-step play, and is it documented, of the journey your customers or potential customers to customers take in your business? Okay? And so when I'm talking about a customer journey map, I also like to call it a client lifecycle map because it gives you a visual representation of the journey a customer takes in your business. So that starts from the moment they find out about you, right? How are they becoming aware of your business, to the time they are an actual client of yours, and then once they become a client, to delivery of services, to offboarding, to loyalty and retention, all of those things. So it's the full client experience that your customers have with you. Okay, that is the customer journey map. And so I'm going to be helping you walk through how to actually get yours set up and documented. Okay, and so first thing first, when it comes to your business, if you have an offer, every offer in your business needs a customer journey map. Every offer in your business should be able to talk about the different touch points a client experience in your business. Every offer in your business is gonna have different it's gonna have different, y'all, the chat started throwing me off. Where y'all come from? Hey guys, hi. So every offer in your business is gonna have different moments where you have to interact with a client. Every moment, every offer in your business is also going to have different moments where your clients have to take a certain action or step. Okay, and so your client lifecycle map or your customer journey is going to, yes, I see you, Cindy. I see you, Brittany. Hello, hello, hello. I am live. And your customer journey map is going to help you see the customer experience from the client's perspective. Okay, you're going to be able to walk step by step on how you interact with your clients, but also you're going to be able to see it from their perspective, so that you can see what needs to be improved in all of the things. Yes, I see you, the rug man. I am doing fine, guys. I am on here talking about the customer journey map. So if you are a business owner, whether you're a solopreneur, a service-based business provider, or even if you are a nonprofit founder, I am Ebony. I am an operations manager and consultant, and I help business owners get clear and get things done. And so today I'm going to help you map out your entire customer journey. Okay? And so stay on, tap in. If you're ready to grow your business, if you want to have your business organized, follow the journey. I'll be on tomorrow as well talking about a different phase of this. But right now I'm just kind of walking through what a customer journey is, how you can get one set up for your primary offer in your business. Okay? So most business owners, they know bits and pieces of the customer journey. So a lot of people, they know the sales process of their business. Some people, they know the awareness, because awareness gets really into the marketing aspect of your business. Some people may understand the overall gist of how they onboard and offboard clients, but majority of people, they do not have these processes or these different systems actually documented, okay? So that a team member can follow it without having to ask them questions. And so I am going to support you all in doing this today, okay? And so one of the things that I want to point out is, as someone who deals with operations, I usually find that CEOs, solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, we like to start off by focusing on branding. We want the pretty logos, the pretty color palettes. We want our website done. Meanwhile, we haven't made 1 cent in our business. We haven't made any money in our business, but we're prioritizing how we're going to look to potential customers, right? Before we have our offers finalized, before we have a client or even a lead, right? We're already investing money in the visibility of our organizations or our businesses. And so we're dropping the logos on social media. We securing the social media accounts, yet we do not have the operational pieces in place. And so we're not laying a proper foundation in our businesses. I'm going to help you with that because I see all the time, you can have the most beautiful website, you can have the most beautiful logo, you can have the nicest color palette. You could have dropped 5,000, 10,000 on your website and your branding of your business, but if you do not set up the operational foundation, your business will not be sustainable, period. Listen, I've been trained in digital marketing. I know the ins and outs of it. I understand its importance. But if you do not lay a solid foundation operationally for your business, you are going to eventually burn out, because the cute things won't matter if you're unable to deliver the promise that you told someone that you're going to deliver to them in your ad, okay? You can run all of the ads, but if your automations aren't set up to deliver the lead magnet to them, when they put their name in their email in their opt-in form, you're going to have an issue when it comes to customer service. Trust me, I know. I used to be on customer service management for multiple 6 and 7 figure launches. I've done it, guys. I've been in customer service. I've been an executive assistant. I now do operations management and consulting. And I am telling you, marketing is cool, but you have to put these operational things in place. And most people skip over operations because it's the boring things. It's the mundane things. It's the things that don't nobody want to spend time long enough to actually get solid on. And so we do what's pretty. Okay? But then we have to pay for that on the back end. So usually when people come to me, they're at this point, they have the branding, they have all of the things in place. They've been playing with different tools and software, and now they're like, oh my goodness, I need to organize my back end. Why was it not set up from the jump? Why didn't you set up your Google Drive in the most organized way when you first started your business? But your website fine. But why isn't your Google Drive organized? Hi, Cameron. Hello, guys. I am talking about customer journeys in business, okay? So everything is pretty in your business, but your back end is a mess. It's not organized. It's not cleaned up. You can't find anything. Your team can't find anything in your business. So people keep coming to you asking you the same questions. And so here you are as a CEO, you're annoyed, you're over it. You're like, oh my goodness, why y'all keep asking me this? Because it's unclear. Because it's undocumented, okay? And so across these next few days, I'm going to be walking through a customer journey map and how you can get clear and get things documented, so that when you begin to hire your first team member or your next team member, they know exactly what it is they're responsible for. They know exactly what their role is in the organization. They know when they come in to begin to support clients or to support your business. They know exactly what they need to do, when they need to do it, how they need to do it. And if they don't know, they know exactly where to find those things at. Okay? So I use this customer journey map in operations work because it's going to help me find the steps that people are taking in business that is unnecessary. Sometimes we're doing too much and we're making things overly complex, and really it could be more simple. It could be more simple than what we're making it. I'm going to help you create a customer journey map that is simplified, that's not going to be confusing to you or your team. Okay? Another reason why I do this work operationally is because a lot of times we're doing manual work over and over and over again. We're constantly doing the same thing week to week to week, and we're trying to figure out why we don't have enough time to write the vision. We're trying to figure out why we don't have enough time to go and do the sales calls. We're trying to figure out why we don't have enough time to actually record the content in our business so that we can be and show up consistently online. It's because we're doing the same things over and over and over again manually. And so the customer journey map, as you begin to walk through it, it's going to highlight some of those red flags in your business. The areas where you're doing the same things over and over, but it could be automated. Or you're doing things in your business that's not bringing a return on your investment, which can be eliminated. Or you're doing things in your business that's not aligned to what your goals and priorities are. So if you said you wanted to make 100K in 2026, why are you randomly researching and planning all day? You're not actually doing revenue generating activities in your business, but you're expecting to make 100K this year. How are you going to do that? So a lot of times what I see as I'm building out this customer journey map is we have goals set, but the things that we are doing week to week do not align with those goals. And so come August, which is what we're in right now, come September, come October, we're trying to figure out like, man, I'm not nowhere near the goals that I set just about last year this time. And so now we're trying to scramble, or now we're like hopeless and we're like, oh, I'm just gonna do it next year. No, you still got time. It's August, you got September, October, November, and December. You got 4 months, 4 full months to lock in and to get the goals met. It's not too late for you, so don't give up now, because now is not the time to give up. Okay? So let's get into the customer journey map, because I like to look at it across 6 stages. Stage 1 is awareness. This is one of the simplest stages. Awareness in your business is people. How do people find out about your business? How do people find out about your organization? Okay? So when we're thinking about the awareness stage of the customer journey map, this is how people discover that your business exists. They may see your content on social media, and so awareness for you may look like you show up on Instagram, or maybe you show up on YouTube, or LinkedIn, or TikTok, or Substack. Like, you have some form of social media that you are showing up, and people are finding out about your content. Maybe it's through a trial reel on IG. Maybe you went live on YouTube and now people are being introduced to your business for the first time. This is how they become aware of you. For some of you, it's through a paid ad. And so people are becoming aware of you through ads. That is how people are becoming aware of you. These are also traffic sources in your business. And so this is how people see your content, how they hear about you. So maybe they didn't see any content, but they heard about you through a referral. Someone that knew you or knew of you told them about you because they said that they were looking for a social media manager. And so someone told somebody. So word of mouth or referral is also another way that people become aware of your business. Another traffic source, right? And then you have it where if you have your stuff set up on Google, you're doing your SEO right, people can find you on Google. And so now that's another traffic source. This is how people are becoming aware of your business. Maybe they heard you speak at an event or on someone's podcast. You were one of the guests, right? They found out about you through that way, and so forth and so on. So the first stage of the customer journey map is awareness. Again, it's simple as it sounds. How are people made aware of you and the work that you do? Okay. Now, in the awareness stage, the main question here is, how are people finding you? So, simply put, if you're documenting your customer journey map with me right now, I want you to write out awareness, and then I want you to answer the question, how are people finding you? And then answer the question. Is it on social media? Is it through your Substack newsletter? Is it through an ad? Is it through word of mouth, referrals, Google? Did you do a guest blog post on someone else's blog? Like, how are people finding out about you and the work that you do? One of the things that I find the most interesting is, like, some people, we complain like, man, we think we doing so much, and we're wondering why people aren't booking. People ain't booking and people ain't looking. It's because they don't know about your business. It's not because your business sucks. It's not because you don't have a great offer. It's simply because you're not visible. You're not visible enough, and so people don't know what you do, who you are, and how you can help them transform their businesses. And so for the first stage of the customer journey map, you want to make sure that you're clear on how people are going to find you. And remember, you're doing this for every single offer that you have. So for example, I have an offer, my primary offer is operations management. How do people find out about this? So yes, I have a website. So if people are searching Google, and Google somehow, some way suggests my website, they can find out about who I am, the work that I do, how much my services are, by simply going on my website. That's one way that people become aware of me, through Google via my website, right? And then if I'm posting on social media, I might have a call to action that says, hey, if you're interested in operations management support over the next, in the next 3 months, please book an alignment call so I can talk about how I can support you, or if I can support you, things of that nature. So then people are finding me through social media content. So of course, I don't have to be on all of the platforms. I need to choose the ones that I'm going to prioritize, okay? Because the moment I try to do every single platform, I'm going to stretch myself thin. Unless I have a tool like repurpose.io that's going to be able to help me, get that up and running and go to all of the different platforms at once, okay? So if you're new joining, we're talking about customer journey mapping. And so if you're a solopreneur or an entrepreneur with a small team or a growing team, I am talking about how you're going to do your customer journey map and how it should be documented so that you can grow and sustain your business. So we already talked about stage 1, which is awareness, how people find you and discover your business and the services that you provide. And then the second stage is consideration. Okay, now consideration is they found out about your business, but now they're kind of trying to figure out, they're considering if they want to work with you. They're considering if they want to move forward, and they're doing this by reading the copy that's on your website. Okay, so if someone has seen your business and you might be a potential partner with them, they're like, okay, let me look at their website and see, let me learn more about this offer. Okay, the consideration phase of a customer journey map is them looking to see if this offer that you're offering to them is worth it. This is also where they're wanting the questions that they're thinking to be asked without having to ask you. Okay, and so they're interested in learning more. They're going on your website. They're looking on your social media to see what kind of content you're adding. They're looking at your testimonials to see the proof, right? They may join your email list in the consideration phase because they're trying to see, like, what's your processes like. They may watch some of your content to see how do you communicate. If they're looking for a coach, they want to know, like, can this person coach? Are they full of fluff, or are they going to get to the meat of the matter, right? Or they may simply ask people about you. One of the things that I say during the consideration phase, you want to make sure that your copy on your website is positioning you well for the thing that you say that you do. Another thing you want to do is make sure that you have FAQs for your offers. Or if you're producing content on social media and your call to action is book a call or sign up for this or buy this, you want to make sure that your content is communicating effectively what they're going to get, what's included, how does it transform their life, why? Because then that way they're able to make a informed decision on if they want to move forward with you, which is how you get them from consideration to the third stage in the customer journey map, which is conversion. Okay? Conversion is number 3. This is them making a decision to work with you. Okay? And so, in the conversion way, the conversion stage, they are moving from prospect to a paying client, or they are moving through the inquiry process, right? If you're new here, we're talking about the customer journey map. We're on stage 3, which is conversion, and I'm helping you build this in the most simple way, okay? And so we're on stage 3, which is conversion. This is when they move from being a prospect to a paying client in your business. So I want you to be thinking inquiry. I want you to think discovery call. I want you to think that proposal, that contract, as well as that invoice, okay? This is also where you should be thinking about how payment is being made in your business for your offers, okay? This is all the conversion phase. This stage often has more operational steps than people realize, because we think that it's okay to just send people to a sales page and then they book and we're done. No, that is not how conversion works. There is an entire process and systems that goes along with this particular stage, and we're going to go more in depth about the different stages over the next few days, okay? So we talked about awareness, we've talked about consideration, and we've talked about conversion. Now, the 4th stage in the customer journey map is delivery. So if you're a service-based business, now there's a point where you have to deliver your services to the person who has purchased from you, your customer, your client. Now, in the delivery stage of the customer journey, you're actually providing the service that they purchase, okay? This looks like now you're not just thinking about, oh, I'm giving them a deliverable, or I'm meeting with them once a week or bi-weekly. No. Let's really think through this. The delivery phase is made up of your communication process and policies. We're thinking about meetings, right? Are you doing asynchronous meetings? Are you meeting once a week? Are you meeting multiple times a week? What does that look like when you're delivering services to your clients? So we're talking about customer journey map. We're on the delivery phase. And so we're thinking about meetings. We're thinking about the deliverables. How are you delivering your deliverables to your customers? Is it through email? Is it through a client portal? And then we're thinking about deadlines. Are you tracking your projects for your clients? Do your team know what it is they need to be doing, when they need to do it, what done looks like? These are all different processes and systems that we have to now create when we're delivering a service as a service-based business. But most times we don't sit down long enough to begin to look and think about those things. Then we talk about updates. Updates come along with the communication process. So if you know that you're going to send a weekly update to your client, you need to know when that is going out. Is it random? Are you sending it every Friday at noon? Are you going to send it at the top of the week on Monday, and you're going to provide updates on Mondays? How often are you communicating with your clients? Because your clients should never have to reach out to you and be like, hey, what's going on? They shouldn't have to ask you for an update ever. If your clients are sitting asking you for updates and saying, hey, what's next? What's the next step? There's something in your customer journey process is unclear and it needs to be revamped, okay? Or there's something in your communication process that needs to be updated so that your customer is always a step behind you. Before they can send an email asking what's next, you've already let them know. This is a part of your delivery phase in the customer journey now. Okay? You also have to look at things like approvals. Who has the authority to make approvals and decisions in your business? Is it only you as the CEO? Do you have directors on your team? Do you have any other person on your team who could approve things so every decision doesn't fall back on you? So you don't become the bottleneck in your business. Okay? And so also customer service, customer support, that lives in the delivery phase of the customer journey. A lot of times we skip over customer support. I don't know why. Because listen, as a customer service manager, and I've supported tens of, maybe even hundreds of thousands of customers in my time as a customer service manager. And I can tell you one thing, the people are going to ask questions. And you as the CEO may not never read an email from the customer service inbox. They're asking questions. They got so many questions, and your FAQs, they're not doing its job, okay? So as we're building our systems around delivery, we also need to be thinking about how can I support my clients in the best way from a customer service standpoint as well. And of course, when we talk about customer service and the delivery phase in more depth later on this week, I'll get more into this, okay? So in the customer journey map, we talked about the awareness phase, consideration phase, conversion phase, the delivery phase, and then the next phase is offboarding. Offboarding is where the engagement ends, okay? This is when you're thinking about the final deliverable. How are you giving them the final deliverable? How are you giving them the final update? And then you're thinking about final invoices if you didn't get paid up front. You're thinking about how to remove account access. You're thinking about how are you communicating this wrap up? Is it through a offboarding call? Is it through a wrap up email with all of the links attached? What does the offboarding process look like? Okay? How are you asking for feedback? Are you requesting testimonials? Are you sending out a survey? What are the policies around that? Is it required? Is it not? Okay? And then also, how are you trying to increase their customer lifetime value? Because if you're simply saying, hey, we're offboarding deuces, like you're not thinking about the next step when it comes to turning a customer into a raving fan. When it comes to turning your client into a loyalty client. Okay? And so these are things you need to think about when you're building out the offboarding process in your business. And then you have loyalty. We want all of our clients to get to this point of loyalty, right? We're not going to be burning bridges or anything of that nature. We want loyal customers, okay? Now, this sixth phase of the customer journey map is what happens after the engagement ends, okay? Are there check-ins? Are you asking them to become a referral partner? Are you having them renew? So if you're doing a retainer, once that contract ends after the 3 months, the 6 months, the 12 months, are you trying to check in with them and ask them to, renew the contract with you? Or are you just like leaving it be, right? This is a part of your loyalty phase, okay? And then you also want to talk about additional offers. Sometimes, like, ways that you can increase the customer lifetime value is by meeting them somewhere else. So maybe you performed a service for them already, but you saw, as you were in the back end of their business, you saw that they also needed assistance with X, Y, and Z. So maybe instead of just offboarding them and let them go about their day, now you're coming in and saying, hey, I know you also needed support here. Would you be interested in XYZ service? Okay? So now you're thinking through the next step recommendations, right, that we talked about in the offboarding phase. And you're talking about additional offers, okay? What else? We're also talking about continued education, putting them back in your nurture sequence on your email list, and then staying connected with them. So making sure that you're staying front and center every, month, every 3 months, you're reaching out saying, hey, if you're interested in boom, boom, boom. And it's not always even selling. It's really just staying in contact with them so you don't burn a bridge and you stay top of mind. And so it's not always, hey, I'm selling this new thing. Do you want it? No. Sometimes it could be as simple as, hey, it's been 3 months. How's your business doing? I saw this that you posted on LinkedIn. I just wanted to say congratulations. I see you doing big things. Like, shout out to you. Okay? It could be as simple as that. And then you're thinking about, okay, how can someone who I used to work with or a past client remain part of my business ecosystem for years, year after year after year? Okay? And so your client life cycle or customer journey now doesn't end simply because the contract ended. Now it's up to you to see if you're going to be on your P's and Q's to keep them year after year. Okay? And so that is the gist of the customer journey map. Again, for recap, we have awareness, consideration, conversion, delivery, offboarding, and then we have loyalty. Those are the 6 stages that we're going to be mapping out over the next few days. And so if you have been following this far, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, where I'm going to be helping you get clear and get things done in your business. I'm going to help you build a sustainable business and a sustainable organization so that you can grow and so that you can reach your goals and so that you can make impact. Okay? That is what I am here to do, and we're going to get it done over the next few days. So if you haven't met me, again, I am Ebony. I am the CEO of the Empire Effect Agency. I am also an operations manager and consultant. I step in the scenes of service-based businesses and nonprofits so that I can support them getting clear and getting things done by helping them get their business organized, helping them make decisions, helping them set up systems, workflows, and processes in their business so that they can do the things that they said that they were going to do, period. Okay? And so, it was good talking to y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow.